Hey guys, welcome to day number two. Today we are talking about live shopping. Okay, so I don't know if you've been listening, but there's a lot of live shopping happening. Okay, and a lot of people are afraid of it. And I just wanted to give you some information to learn a little bit more about it and see the possibilities. Okay, so live shopping, think about your own QVC channel, okay, for your brand. Whether you, I guess this one is more for people who have a particular product, right? But there's different ways to use it, of course, if you are going to offer a service, right? So in that case, it's just kind of like just going live and sharing your expertise and then selling those spots, for example, for your training or your class or whatever you're doing live, right? Which you can do. It's more kind of like a presentation, a webinar, or something where you're giving information and then at the end you're pitching, which is something we've been doing for a while, right? We've been doing it for a long time. But in this case, what we're using today and what we're talking today is about sharing an actual item like live, just like in QVC, like that lady that comes up and shows you the different things and tells you the price and answers your questions and you make a sale, right? So I don't know if you follow Mr. Gary Vee, that he talks all day long about social media and other topics and big entrepreneur. And he talks about this video of this lady in, I think it's in China, and she is selling millions of dollars in seconds. And I'll be happy to share with you if you want to take a look. So this is something that in other parts of the world have already happened and people are doing it, and it's a new way of shopping, right? And in here in the US or in this side of the world, in Canada or in the UK, right? It's growing and it's growing and it's growing, and you see it more and more and more. Now, I have to say, me personally, I do not buy, I never did with QVC. I don't think I've ever bought anything on QVC or anything. I have bought from infomercials, but I haven't bought, like, I haven't stayed hours watching QVC and bought something in particular. I'm not that kind of customer. I don't see anything wrong. I think it's awesome, but I'm not that customer. And even nowadays, I don't sit and watch shows, okay, let me spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours watching something to buy a particular item. I'm not that customer. However, there's a lot of people out there who are, okay? And your customer might be that person, right? And I just want to bring to you, based on the conversations and the things that we've been working out. I work with other fashion designers and fashion brands, and we're implementing these things and having very good results. Excuse me. So I wanted to share with you. So the first thing is, where do you do this live shopping, right? So, well, there's apps, there's particular apps, particular social media platforms that allow you to do it, right? I don't know if you've ever heard of Whatnot. A lot of people go on Whatnot and everything is built, right? So you sell. So you do your show and you sell, and there's a lot of people having huge success in there, right? There's other platforms. Let's say for example, I have a store in Poshmark. I sell pre-loved items and items that are new with tags in there. And in there, there's live shopping because they do these posh shows, they call them. People go live and they're going after every item and telling you and everything, and they're selling live, and it's connected to the app and it works great. Then there's other people, for example, who are using platforms that perhaps they don't have the capabilities of, charging people and things like that in there, which it's evolving, right? But there's if you don't want to pay for certain things, you can still work it out, right? And I'm talking in this example about Instagram, right? I know a lot of people, fashion brands and resellers that are using it to sell daily, right? So you can do a show, you can show up live and do the show, and then have people DM you, and then you close the transaction because they like a particular item and they claim it, and you do the transaction after you end the show, right? Some people are doing it that way. Other people do it just with stories, right? And they say, okay, I'm gonna run this show this Friday night, and I'm having this sale, and it's just pictures and the information. You share the sizes, you share everything, you share comments, you say all this stuff, and you're chatting with them, right, through the DMs and answering their messages on the stories and stuff. And then that's the way that you're selling. You send them the link to your store so they can finish the transaction, right? There's different ways to go about it. But the thing here is that this is a new way of selling, okay? And it's a new way that is growing a lot, okay? So I know that this is not for everyone, but it is my duty to let you know that this is happening, and that a lot of, like, a good segment of the population is buying that way. Okay, so it's changing, right? You've seen how the malls are emptier and emptier. People don't go, stores are closing, right? People are going more online. And then if you're gonna buy online, you really have to know the brand, right? To actually go to that website and buy something from them. So you really have to work on growing your brand, right? Growing on social media. So, you know, the world has been changing. And well, we have a choice. Do we want to grow with the world and adapt so we can continue to be successful, or we're going to be stuck to the past and doing things that are no longer working, that are going to keep us frustrated? So, you know, we have to decide what to do. So let me share some ideas with you. One is you can use apps, right, that are made for this, like Whatnot, right? And I'll be sharing more also throughout the day, right, about this stuff. But don't worry about the app in particular right now, just worried about the content. So the first thing is choosing a place, right, where you can do this, and it can be a place like Whatnot, for example, where everything is built for that and it's easier, right? Or you can do it in an indirect way, like people do it on Instagram, right? You choose the way that works best for you, okay? But the thing here is to take it seriously. This is not something that you're just I'm gonna try once and see how it goes. Well, it's not gonna hopefully it goes great, but maybe it's not gonna go that well the first time. Maybe you have to learn. Maybe you're nervous about being on camera. Maybe you don't know what to press. Maybe, I don't know, right? There's many things happening. Maybe you're not that good at it yet, right? So there's gonna be a learning curve, of course. And for you to be good at it, to get good at it, you just, like every other strategy in the world, you just have to do it repeatedly, consistently, right? So for example, it's like, okay, well, what is my slowest day of the week, right? It's Mondays. Okay, so then on Mondays, every Monday night, I'm gonna have my live show. My QVC channel is gonna be on. And think about it this way: QVC is on, right, every day, all the time, selling stuff. If you want to, you could do the same. And you don't have to be part of QVC, and you don't have to be accepted, and you don't have to share profits with them. You can just go, right, into your account, your social media account of choice, or any of these apps that already do this for you, and start doing this thing every day and see what happens, and learn about it, and enroll in a class and do it. And you have a sales channel for you to sell every day. So think about it, change your mindset about it, right? Because I'm not saying you have to do it every day. I'm just saying you have the possibility to do it and to become really good at it, right? So I would say, you can start by choosing one day a week to do this consistently, and then people will be expecting it, right? People would know, people would come into the show because they want to buy, which is a great advantage, right? And then, I see, for example, if you have a brick and mortar store, right? Or even if you work from home, because maybe you don't, you'll have an online store, excuse me, you can set up a day for it, or several days. Maybe you decide to do it every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Maybe it's better for you to do that instead of spending $500 in a booth in a market that you're not selling that well right now. If you are selling well, continue to do it. But if it's not working for you, why not try this one for free, right? So you can do it consistently every week. And then also set up a space, whether it's in your actual store, right, in your shop, or in your house, where you have your camera and you have your lighting and you have your rack and you have your items, and you do this, and this becomes part of the business. This becomes part of what's going on. And if someone happens to walk in the store, right, they can participate, right? And they can see like, wow, this is happening here live, right? And if no one's in the store, you're selling online, right? And you can work it out. Maybe you can do it after hours, right? People are especially shopping late, right? After they put the kids in bed, after they're relaxing, after a long day, right? So just start thinking about those things. What's the best time? What's the best day? What's the best app? And where can I set it up? So it's easy, right? It's kind of like, I want to start a diet. I want to start going to the gym. And then you're like, okay, what do I need? Well, I need to buy this kind of food. So this is the food I have in the fridge. So I don't feel tempted to eat something else. And my clothing, my gym clothes, I'm going to have the shoes next to the door, and I'm going to have my outfit ready to go when I wake up. So I dress, and then it's just so much easier to get in the car and go to the gym, right? This is the same thing. If you set an area in your home or in your shop, right, with the cameras and with the lights and stuff. And when I say lights and camera and all that stuff, do not go crazy, okay? You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can start with what you have. You can just start with your phone, set it live, and go with it. As long as you have a good source of lighting, right, and you have your rack, and it's a setup that it's, looks professional, you're good to go. And if you are in your home office is awesome. And if you're in your shop, which I know it's beautiful, you can do it there. Okay. Or maybe you can do it with a friend, and she can help you out in a certain area of her house every Friday night. And it can be a thing that you guys do, and you can share profits, right? And she can help you just to be there for moral support, right? So it's just to think about these things and to see how you can incorporate it. Okay. So if any of these, sounds like it could be something that works for you, right? Like I know, for example, I know a lot of resellers who they have their main website, right? Their own website. Then they sell on different platforms, Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, whatever. Then they do markets, right? And, every Saturday morning, they participate in this particular market. And then Friday and Sunday, they do this live show. So they organize their schedule, right, in that way, and they know what they're going to do every day, and they're growing and growing and growing. I'm not saying leave everything and just do the live shopping. I'm saying start doing it and see how it goes and see how it grows for you. And then maybe that can replace the ones that are not really working that well for you, okay? Because it is proved already, it has been proven that in other parts of the world it's working well, and a lot of people are using it. It's already building momentum here, like people are really using it here, and there's a lot of opportunities still because a lot of people are still not doing it. So if any of these, sounds like, okay, this could work, I could do this, right? And maybe you are like, I cannot do this. Maybe someone in your team can, right? Someone who's more like not afraid of the camera and likes to be on camera and is very passionate about fashion or something like that. Maybe someone in your team has those characteristics of like, oh, this person can run this show, right? Or maybe you can hire someone instead of hiring a VA to post all this stuff on Instagram that is not getting that much traction. Maybe you can hire a person that does the show for you, okay? And then again, you can give them a commission, or you can pay them per hour, or whatever it is. There's ways to go about it, right? So I'm just here sharing this information with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Think about, again, what app can you use or what social media platform you can do this. And think about what day of the week this could work for you. And yeah, start doing it. Set up yourself a schedule because this could be very revolutionary in your business. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope that this was helpful. And again, throughout the day, I'll be sharing more information with you about this topic. So yeah, let's continue the conversation. Bye, guys.